create this effect, it's done with a locked off camera, and once I'd done the cutting of the water with the scissors without any effect, right, that's the actual footage. I've then done a little bit of footage without the water spout and created a still, and that will be placed below the footage. Now for this demonstration I will get rid of the audio. So we've got the footage at the top, and I cut this up into little chunks every time I wanted the water spout to be covered up, so we'd have a little bit of a splash, and then at that point there it needs to be covered up. I cut at that point, and we go to the next one. I would say at that point, and the final one. We now go back to the first one and highlight it just to be sure, and go into the colour tab. I will zoom into that a little. For the first cut is there, so that's where you want this bit to be covered up, because by this time there should be no water there. So it's very simple. You choose the window and the pen, and you cut like that, and all we need to do is to add an alpha output. So you click in this area here, right click, add alpha output, and this little thing comes up here. You then connect this blue to this blue, and it's now showing that we've selected that area, but we want it to create a window in there and have the surrounding area showing and not that area that's just been selected. So you would come down here and click on this, and it inverts it, so it's showing black. Where it's showing black, that is the alpha channel, and where it shows black, that's telling you that there will be a little window in this footage, and through that window you'll be able to see the background. So if we go into the timeline, you can just see that it's gone. We'll do it again because it will be more obvious as we move up the spout, so to speak. So we go back into this area here, and one thing I forgot to mention is that when you've done your little cutouts, it's a good idea to soften it a little bit. You come down here and just move it a little bit over, just to soften the edges of your selection. If we now go to the next one, now we want to be sure we're in the right one, and come into the colour tab again, and at this point it will cut there, and then the next frame is the beginning of the cut. From this point here we don't want this spout, so we go again to the window, the pen, and we cut this piece out. Again, we're cutting a window, so it needs the alpha channel, so it's right click, alpha output, connect those two together, and then invert it, and then soften it slightly, and go back into the timeline, and it's cut. So we've got the first two cuts, 1, 2. So if we go to the next one, it's the same procedure. And it's just at that point it's just cut through the water, so that's the point beyond which we want to have the window. Cut it out, soften it, alpha output, invert it. And you may have noticed that I come off the edge here. I do that because if you were to do it like this, you might just end up with a little bit of the spout showing below the window. So extend the window off screen, so to speak. It's better. I'll show you one that I did previously, and here it is with all the cuts in the right place. And I've also adjusted the colour by using an adjustment clip. The background does need to be done in the same lighting. You wouldn't want to have the background still lit with full sunshine. It would show up terribly. It needs to be the same lighting as the footage. So that's it. It's quite simple. You're cutting out a piece of the footage, creating a window to allow the background to show through.